here. Look at that handsome fuck. Yes.
Serenity now.
Finally. Just mark. Pull up upwards. You got to keep it. Holy shit, we are here, baby. This is the official start. We are 10 minutes behind because
I can't believe it.
we fucking, oh man. I'll tell you what, this is a great learning experience. And like Mr. Brendan Vaughn, King of the Dark Place, said, this is a great test of our resiliency, trying to figure out how to get a third guest on the podcast, getting the microphone set. And we are crystal clear, baby. We are crystal clear. And
Good
wow.
work, Marco.
I'll tell you what, I'm learning a lot about this technology stuff, but thank goodness, in case if I shit myself, we are sponsored by Scott today, baby. We got Scott on the Buddha.
Scott Tissue.
Boo season here, baby. We are sponsored. We are good.
I'd like to personally thank Scott for all the support they've given me over the years. Whenever things get tough, I go in the bathroom and they're always there for me. So thank you, Scott Tissue.
Did you steal that one from the gym? That definitely looks like one of the ones from the gym.
I stole it this morning.
I know the tissue wrapping on the bathroom or the MFP Scott toilet papers because I buy them in bulk. So you see, when you know that when the toilet paper debacle was happening during 2020, I had to start buying in bulk, and so I get this like 100 roll box, and they come in these very distinct tissue wrappings. So it's good, dude. It's all yours, man.
I'll bring it back tomorrow morning.
Nah, just keep it. It's a gift for being a guest.
I'll keep it in my backpack, just in case.
Yeah, on a 1 mile run or something, you never know what the bus route.
You never know what's going to happen.
Hey, listen, man. I'm sure everybody was seeing here watching live because right now we got PR 0 live viewers, but it's going to happen. We're recording. It's all going to build up as we go. But, we just started the episode here with that commercial, the MFP commercial that JT shot. And we got to break some ice real quick. So what the fuck was in the Whole Foods grocery bags, man? We got to know. And like, what was that experience like being in the middle of Whole Foods, carrying some shit?
We got a lot of weird looks. The managers came out and gave us a lot of shit. Like, what are you guys doing out here? Like, you can't be filming our building. They had no idea what was going on. But they were pretty good about it. But I don't remember. I think it was just like a bunch of cans of soup or something like that. I wanted to carry like water bottles or something like that. But he's like, he already had it all set up. He already had the bags like all kind of weighted up, ready to go.
Just to be clear, those weren't your groceries then.
No. It was a total staged prop,
I actually never knew that.
Actually, they were full of toilet paper, but I just did a good job at making it look like they were heavy,
Oh man, you gotta love it, right? I was saying the other day at 5 a.m. I was like, I purposely drive as far away as I can from the entrance of Trader Joe's, just so that way I can do a farmer carry with my heavy groceries on the way back because I eat a decent amount of food, man. So I purposely when I check out, I say don't put all the bags in the cart. I want to carry a few out, do a little unilateral work, get one side, push the cart with the other hand. I get a nice high pull out of the cart with the bags. I get 2 in each hand, nice and heavy, and I get a nice farmer carry walk on the way back. So I get some looks.
That's funny. I do the same thing every once in a while. I have to go to Giant and pick up water bottles because my wife refuses to drink water out of our faucet. So we had this like stupid water container in the corner of our kitchen. But I've parked in the far corner, so I have to walk all the way around through the parking lot with two big water jugs. I usually get some strange looks, like, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, well, I was at Trader Joe's this week, and I was checking out, and I was wearing Hazel, and I don't know if the guy like thought I was like a pathetic old lady or something, because as I'm checking out, I'm getting all my bags in the cart. They're like, "You need help carrying this all out to your car?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't need help carrying." I'm like, so I don't know. Maybe they see me and they think I'm like the little boy or something. But I was asked if I needed help. So
Joe, you're definitely on the hybrid of looks of like little boy to old grandma. To be honest, I mean the transition lenses really get them. So you never know.
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
Well,
They're doing their job.
the little boy look will help you later in life, Joe. Yeah. The younger you look, it will help you.
Well,
Unless I go to prison.
Vaughn, you do a very good job of playing the role of a guy that carries some heavy groceries. The fact that you also did it in like your sandals, but almost basically barefoot. It was a good vibe, dude, and we
Yeah,
appreciate
we
you
had
for
fun.
doing that.
Yeah, it was fun.
You were definitely the icon type of a member that I would have put in that commercial. So like the deeper aspect to that whole MFP commercial is really show that diversity that we have of clientele, but also the way that it transfers outside of the gym, and something as goofy as carrying your groceries. Like some people lack that capacity or resilience to even like want to do that, right? And
Yeah.
so hopefully those things start to transfer mentally to people as they go and explore life. It doesn't have to necessarily be groceries and shit, but
Oh man, this stuff comes up every day where I think about resiliency and CrossFit and how does it translate.
I love it.
We'll talk about it later, maybe.
Yeah, dude. Hey, listen, we're gonna shoot the shit a little bit before we get into some nitty gritty, because I also gotta do some venting here, and Joe loves it when I vent. Um, but how you feeling after the workout today, man? We had a good flow, some upper body push press, some sled
I
work.
liked it. The broad jumps. My knees are feeling better, but that was probably not my strongest point in today's workout. But the push presses and the wall walks, I love that stuff. And sled stuff. The sled I thought were pretty easy, but it was good for my knees.
Yeah,
And so just kind of embraced it as a good backwards knee workout. So
yeah. The knee
that was
extension.
good.
Yeah, the knee extension is good. I love every time we program that and we get to do it, especially today, because today was kind of like a little bit different stimulus of that knee extension in the sled pull. Like I
Yeah,
programmed it light and a little bit more like a trottier vibe, which I
yeah.
really felt like I was getting that really good knee work too, especially because you have to really focus on that when you're moving at a quicker pace.
Yeah, that's good because if you left it to us, we probably would have loaded the sleds up because
Yeah.
that's how we're programmed. But it was good to kind of do it light and fast.
Yeah, gotta have variance with it, man. How do you feel about just talking about the workouts right now? I mean, we had like the Service Cup week. We had some different things. How do you feel about the fall programming so far, especially since you're Mr. Consistency? We'll talk about later on, but we had the summer where it kind of got a lot with volume, and now we're transitioning to the more like intervals, intensity,
Yeah,
transitions.
I've been really liking it. I like the interval type workouts. I obviously can't do them every day, but the workouts where your heart rate really spikes up. I can't think of any like off the top of my head, but they've been tough. Like they've been. I would say the workouts over the last couple of weeks were probably tougher than what we experienced typically during the summer
Mm-hmm.
or leading up to that. But I've been liking those workouts.
Love it.
Getting back into squatting a little bit. I can't remember what some of the tougher ones were, but
Well, you're
Yeah, I mean, like you always say
yeah.
to me, man. That's what you're paying for. That's like
we definitely are.
That's what you're
Yeah,
paying for.
I love that. I love coming out of there feeling completely destroyed.
That's what you're paying for. You've been
It's
saying
what
that for years since I met
it
you.
is.
See,
I mean, honestly, I don't really give a shit, about how much we pay for this stuff. But some people get upset when the workout's hard. I'm like, I love it when it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's why we do this stuff. Like if it was easy, the other half of the group of the people would complain that they're too easy. So you can never, you can't win.
if you guys haven't figured out why he's received the title King of the Dark Place, you probably figured it out by now. There's two things that I notoriously recall, just for you and your character and your personality and you being such a valuable member, is that you say one, exactly what you just said. Like, we get what we pay for. Every time we do something a little bit out of that comfort zone that brings you to that dark place, that challenges you, you always say it, whether it's out loud in class, after class, like, you're the guy that says we get what we're paying for. And then two, what you always say is that you, Joe?
No, there's
I'm
like,
going outside.
hold on, there's construction work in the background.
No problem. This will be good stuff in the background. The second thing is, and you said this a lot when we had our phase of doing our gratitude work, and people would have their different things week to week, but you were always consistent with this one thing. You would always say, you just say, I'm just happy to be here. Like,
it's
always,
true.
you just always, even though it was just the same monotonous, share, it's still something that's so valuable, right? It's just like that reflection of, like, I get to do this. I don't have to be here. I get to be here. And I think sometimes when we can start to shift that narrative in our mind of, not just CrossFit, but a lot of different things that we do in our life, that definitely will allow us to create a better perspective to the things that we do from day-to-day basis.
We are lucky to be, I say that a lot too. Like, if I see someone like really suffering, I'm like, we're lucky to be doing this. Yeah. We want to be doing this. I used to say that in obstacle course races when I see someone like crumpled up in the field. I'm like, we're lucky to be doing this stuff. Like, we pay money, but like, we should be thankful that we're out here doing this stuff. Like, where else would you rather be?
Yeah, I think about that too, especially like, we just had like the adaptive CrossFit games, and seeing people who are resilient even with some sort of ailment or something, they're still chugging along. Like, we get to be able to experience this, even though if we have, and we'll talk about your maybe minimal setbacks and how you work through that and all those things. Just like, it's definitely a privilege, and so I just appreciate you for always pointing that out, because that was always a great share. Even though it was super simple, it was super effective. But I got to rant real quick, dude. Bevo, there we go. I got you on the screen. Let me just adjust you.
What is that?
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. I was just on Instagram. I just got into an Instagram debacle. I don't really.
Whatever happened to you not being on Instagram, Marco?
So I don't want to be
on.
He caved.
The business is on Instagram.
The business.
I see the business comments.
The business and MFP are on Instagram still, so that's still a thing. All right, so I am exposed to the Instagram world, but I don't follow really anybody. So I'm not exposed to a lot, and I don't have to worry about my own page. And I really just needed to just unplug, especially during the time of transitioning to fatherhood and transitioning to a new phase of life and a lot of things. I just wanted to just shut it all off. So I don't really want to go back, because shit that I'm going to show you now, I just got into a toxic hole of an argument with somebody. And so, Vaughn, you'll see at the end, we do this thing called blind rankings. And so the other week, we had top 5 things that I think are overvalued in the CrossFit space, and one of those were bench press. And I was also talking about this guy who's well known in the CrossFit world called Andrew Hiller, and he basically is known to put out content of people not upholding movement standards within the CrossFit community. And so he talked about something about bench pressing and all the reasons why bench pressing is really valuable. And a lot of these I do agree with, right? Vaughn, just like any loyal MFPer who's been here from the very beginning, we've done bench pressing a handful of times with the barbell. And my spiel about how I feel about the barbell bench press versus doing dumbbells. And basically I just said it's undertrained. So yes, I do agree that we don't train horizontal pushing as much as pulling, because I think a lot of CrossFit gyms get so attached to doing pull-ups and pulling exercises. So we need to have structural balance of pressing. So yes, it's undertrained in that extent in CrossFit gyms, but it's overvalued as in it's every guy's, not even teenage boy, just every male's wet dream of doing barbell bench pressing. Because if you're a guy and you never worked out before and you go to a Planet Fitness, what's probably the first thing that you're going to do? You don't fucking know any better, right?
Right.
So anyway, I won't tangent too long and interrupt your time. That's valuable for us, Vaughn, but you can relate to a lot of this. So I just basically said, dumbbell variance has more transfer. And then this fucktard here, Alex H. Richard, awful take. Basically, and he's talking as a strength coach. You do barbell bench first, and you do your dumbbells and whatever. Which, okay, that's a decent take. But don't call me soft. I'm stuck in the Stone Age.
Oh man,
I'm new age, motherfucker. So here we go. Here we go.
You step right in it.
So here's the thing. I'm not that guy that's going to poo-poo on anything, right? I will see value in a lot of different things and find a place for it. But I looked at his profile. He's a strength and conditioning coach, which I am as well, and I have a background. And I basically gave him the thing that makes sense, Mr. Sports Director here, is why high-level strength conditioning coaches do not program a barbell bench press, say if you're a pitcher, thrower, unilateral work, because the risk-reward of fucking up the shoulder capsule and the joint and internally rotating and giving some sort of, impingement to the shoulder is at a higher risk when you barbell. So that's why they don't do it. And again, I'm just saying it has a place in CrossFit. So don't get all butthurt, Mr. Richard. All right. But you got to widen your perspective. That's all I'm saying. And so I think he even replied back to me, but we don't even need to get there because I basically put my foot down to that motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure that's how I destroyed my shoulder, was just like going to the gym, not knowing any better. So I'm just going to do tons of bench press and tons of pull-ups. and like 5 years later, after a rotator cuff surgery, pretty sure that's how I did it. Or that's one possible way I did it. But
yeah, other than being a beast on the obstacle course.
Too many doing races where you had to do like 1,000 burpees to get into the race. That might have done it too. But
all right, man. Enough of my tangent stuff. We're gonna get to meat and potatoes. How's that sound, brother?
It's good.
All right. Well, what we do is to start the podcast, we just take a moment to just pause for a second and just take a few breaths. All right. So we do our breath work, which you're very fond of, you're very aware of, and then Joe's going to give us a quote. So wherever you're at, everybody listening, because we got right now, guess what? We got 4 live viewers, dude. Now I encourage people to drop in the chat. So,
does that include the 3 of us?
No. These are 4 non-bots. Non-bots.
One of them might be Marco's mom.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
All right. So our 4 viewers and the 3 of us. Let's just take a minute, ground your feet, sit up tall, and close your eyes if you'd like. If you want to keep them open, we're just going to take a few moments just to reflect, be in the moment, be present. Just be grateful for our guests. Be grateful that we get to do what we do on a daily basis. Let's take a deep inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Controlled exhale. Deep breath in. Hold. Breathe out. Just embrace the noises in the background.
Sorry about that.
Process. Just embrace it. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. And let it out. That's the thing, I needed those 3 breaths after getting all hype off of that Instagram feed. But, I said this in the class the other day because I've been personally working out in silence at 4 a.m. And, I just wonder, why do we get so distracted or need something in the background? Or say if we're in silence, why do we have trouble sitting with ourselves and sitting in silence? Or if there are distractions, we're so wired to be distracted and versus being able to recenter our attention to what we have and being present, even if there are, whatever there's going on. So just some things for everybody to reflect on as they're here. So 6 live viewers now. Joe, what do you got for us? What's the quote?
Yeah, before I give this quote, user feedback is saying that the chat's not working. So I don't know if there's.
Let's take a look.
I don't know if there's something you got to open up on your end
Yeah.
there. But anyway.
I'll fix it.
All right, so...
T-shirt.
Quote from Batman. So, Harvey Dent, the night is darkest just before the dawn, and I promise you that dawn is coming. I don't know. It's Vaughn's podcast, man. You gotta go with something like that.
It is.
Man.
It's just my favorite time of day.
Yeah, you actually told me, like, it was so... I think it was, like, last winter. Like, it was so dark and cold one morning, and I was like, it's so dark and cold, and you're like, I love it. That's like the most like Vaughn thing. So I don't know. Appropriate as we like get ourselves rocking and rolling and just like talk a little bit more about CrossFit journey and just story of how it's so valuable for you to embrace shit and challenges like that.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Well, how do you feel about that quote, Mister? Have you seen The Dark Knight before, Brendan?
He's got.
I think I probably saw it. Yeah, I saw the one with Harvey Dent. Yeah, I saw that one.
Dude, can't go wrong with some Dark Knight, man.
I haven't seen any of the new Batmans. I haven't seen the Rob Pat ones, but I like Rob Pat. But I haven't seen any of the Ben Affleck ones. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I don't know why I like it so much, other than it's just for like over a decade. That's primarily when I worked out in the morning. It was quiet out, it was just me and whatever I was doing, often like in the gym by myself or in the woods by myself, but this is what I'm used to, and I found this out a long time ago that like my energy, when I like look up and you see the sun just starting to come up a little bit, my energy spikes, which has helped me in some long races where like you're running through the night, and when you see the sun coming up, you're dying at like 3 a.m. You're like, why am I doing this? Did I train hard enough for this? And like the sun starts coming up a little bit. You see a little bit of light on the horizon, and it's everything gets better from there.
Well, one of my first memories of you, this is kind of the reason that's why I give you the title King of the Dark Place, other than your mentality, which was in the very first days back in 2018 when CrossFit MFP opened up. You were the early riser of a very few that came to the 5 a.m. once I first brought that class. And I remember you'd show up with your ruck that you still show up with, that brown ruck bag. That's the Vaughn ruck bag that still shows up. And you would show up with the ruck bag, and I'd be like, "Yo, man, are you rucking here?" He's like, "Yeah, sometimes I'll do a run here in the morning to the 5 a.m. in his ruck." And then we would have these conversations about how you just love being in the darkness, being in that nighttime mentality, and how there's a unique challenge and mindset to get up early to be able to even do that and put yourself in that position to even come to the gym at that early time. So those were some of my first memories of you.
Yeah, I remember those days. I think I've learned appreciate to sleep in a little bit, but
now it's 6:15, or we gotta.
Yeah, no.
Instead of getting up at 3 in the morning, you're like, "Oh, I'm sleeping. I'll get up at 4 now."
I still get up at 4 for a 6 o'clock class. It just takes me a long time to get ready in the morning, But if I have to go to a 5 a.m., I'm getting up at 3. It's just. It gets harder. It gets harder as you get older. That's all, I think,
And how old are we now, Mr. Vaughn? How old are we now?
59.
Shit, and you're fucking still crushing it. Hey, we got someone in the chat called the Mexican Godfather. Hola, is this CrossFit? I can't pull it up yet because I haven't set that tab.
What kind of audience are you attracting here, Vaughn?
Dude, amazing.
That has to be a joke.
No,
that's got to be like Dan Greenspun or something like
that. It's totally dead. It's totally dead.
I'm calling you out here, Dan.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's funny.
Hold on, I'm going to pull it up here in a second. Well, tell us a little bit as I'm setting this up. My first question was basically this idea of the dark place basically is a transfer to this idea that you're looking forward to challenges and obstacles and resilience. So why is that valuable for you? Like what created that mindset from a basic standpoint of you being somebody that is looking forward to the suck, to the difficulty, to the things that that are going to cause adversity, but you being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel on that?
Yeah, I think like accepting a challenge, whether it's like work or personal or physical, it's accepting these challenges that you think are kind of out of your reach. I think it just, what I like most about it, it just promotes a kind of a growth mindset, right? That's how you grow, right? And, by accepting these challenges, maybe another way to say it is it kind of expands your frame of reference, right? The more challenges you do, it could just, often I think about it in terms of work challenges that I have, but over the years, when I look back, it just it expands your frame of reference, and you get used to kind of doing things that maybe 5 or 10 years ago you thought were unattainable. That's part of it. I think it's kind of valuable to be able to learn from your setbacks and mistakes. I mean, everyone's kind of going to make mistakes and have setbacks along the way, but like how you deal with it and how you're left standing at the end of it, that kids to how to deal with, how to be resilient, how to do hard work, and how to have kind of a good perspective in life.
Love it.
Yeah, I think.
Hold on, I might have froze our podcast here for some reason.
Something froze there for a second.
Did you see?
So how to deal with, how to be resilient, how to
Okay, we're back in live, baby. I just want to make sure.
We're still on air.
All right, cool.
But what I think is also like cool that you mentioned, Brendan, is that like you're gonna fail at stuff. Like when we talk about, it's so easy to like romanticize like challenges, like overcoming and like succeeding, but like a big reality of like doing challenging stuff is like that there's gonna be a lot of times where you don't succeed and like where you fail at things. And one thing I've actually like tried to embrace a little bit is the idea of like doing something knowing that like I have a decent chance of failing at it. Like that's also like something that you've been pretty like steady with, like not being afraid to fail at stuff and knowing that like you're going to. And I think it's just like it's cool to not romanticize like challenges and knowing that not every challenge is going to be overcome, at least like not immediately, like it's going to
be. I think there's huge value in going through failure. I fail at a lot of things, but I think, it's valuable not to be afraid to fail. Try things and don't worry if you fail or not. You're going to learn something in the process and you'll get a little bit better, and maybe the next time you won't fail.
Love it. All right, I think I got done all the technical difficulties here. Wait, is B. Vaughn Batman from Motac? Look, can I pull it up? There we go. All right, I figured it out, motherfucker. There we go.
Also, Marco doing technical things is definitely you just pressing buttons.
Dude, I know. It's wild.
That could be my daughter's boyfriend. He thinks I'm Batman.
There it is. Mo, you get the highlight. Can we just bring up the Mexican Godfather here real quick? Here we go.
What is the Mexican Godfather? I don't understand.
I can't pull this one up. It's too late. Senor, your eye must see the sunrise. The brain release all of feel good. Love it. All right. Well, that's your kind of crowd here, B-Vaughn. Well, listen, all right. You are Mr. 615er now. We just talked about your 5 a.m. past days and how you were embracing the early days of rise and grind. But you are a 615er now, and you are part of the special group, as I like to say. And so whatever Mexican Godfather, they kind of fit right into your group. If it's to be honest.
We need a Mexican. Maybe they're referring to you as the Mexican Godfather.
Pretty much.
The guy you got in an Instagram fight with.
It probably is. Fuck that guy. All right. Well, let's talk about the iconic Darkness T-shirt that you got, because on top of all that, you decided to get. You are known for some really good CrossFit T-shirts. You got the puppy one. I forget. Lift heavy pet dogs, right?
Yeah. I can't take any credit for that. There's a company out there called is it Whiskey Tango? There's a company out there that sells those T-shirts. That comes up on my Facebook thing. A lot of them is like lift heavy, shoot guns. Mm-hmm. Oh, it must be religious, because some of them are like lift heavy, praise God. Okay. Lift heavy, pet dogs.
Dogs are pretty much a religion, dude. Let's be honest.
The one as soon as I saw the one, I'm like, what does this say? Darkness is a hell of a coach. I'm like, holy shit, that T-shirt was made for me. So I bought a T-shirt, like a long sleeve shirt, a hoodie, I think I might have to order the pajamas in it,
Dude, dude,
because it's totally made for me.
I am a big fan of the shirt, and I every time you wear it, I'm like, fuck, I really need that shirt for myself,
I
dude.
got to look it up. I can't. It's something like Whiskey Tango or Charlie Tango or something like that.
It's a new sponsor of the Just Show Up podcast.
Yeah.
Talking about dogs being like Joe. I got the Buddha over here, but I'm surprised you don't got a jelly bean statue like in the corner of your room here.
Well, usually my spaces are all messed up because my man room. I had a man room and it became Hazel's room. So now this is just
The
like
OG podcast room, by the way.
Yeah, that was I had my own man room for a while, but then I lost my man room. Hazel has it now. And so now I just do this in my guest bedroom. So I have a lot of like dog accessories, but this is just like it's like an empty space room.
It
No
looks
more
pretty.
man room for me.
It looks pretty fancy.
Yeah, it's just
Is that? I was like, is that a real space or just like a computer background?
Yeah, it's my guest bedroom, man.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Oh baby! All right, we're gonna
No,
keep flowing.
I'll get you one of those T-shirts for Christmas, Marco.
Dude. If honestly, that would be a blessing. Well, you are also known as the MFP handy helper. We got to go into some origins here because again, like I said, you've been here since the very beginning, and that's something I'm super grateful for because we talked about your value as a member and how you've always just brought in this great perspective to what we do and how we get to do this on a daily basis. But you obviously came in when we started working together with some CrossFit experience. So let's go back into a little bit more of your origins and talking about your fitness lifestyle prior to MFP, because from what I'm aware, you were doing a little bit of CrossFit, dabbling around with that, but you were an avid Spartan racer, because another memory I have was you trying to egg me on to doing an ultra Spartan race with you. And I was, I'm very open-minded, but I had to decline on that because I don't think I was going to hold up.
I think I was trying to get you to do the Beast, which is like 13 miles, which is just it is a fun day. It's a fun day being out there. But
if I were to do it, I would do it with you, my friend. So
I remember when I walked in there because I was training for a long race. I had plantar fasciitis. I went to Haverford College to see if I could run one lap, and I'm like, I guess in my mindset back then, I was like, well, if I can run one lap, I can probably make it to 30 or 40 miles. I just got to keep moving. And I couldn't run like 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was all pissed off, kind of came to the conclusion that I can't do the race. I'm just going to back out and I'll hit it hard next year. And as I was driving back from Haverford College, I looked over and I probably drove by your place 1,000 times, and I'm like, CrossFit here? And I immediately did a U-turn in the middle of Haverford Road and pulled into the parking lot. And I walked in and I'm like, I went in. You're like, what? Do you want to try a workout? And I'm like, no. I know what it is. Yep. I just want in. I want to start Monday.
I distinctly remember that moment, dude. Because I'm like, yo, we do trials. You feel you. I mean, that's a business owner's dream member right there. That's a membership right on the table. But I was attracted to that mentality. Right. I think that's why we really bonded so well when you first started, because you were just like all in. So, all right. So you had a little adversity there, plantar fasciitis, and that was probably a clickbait for me, because knowing me and being Mr. Foot Guy and foot health of fixing that stuff, that seemed to be a good fit for clientele. But tell me a little bit about your exposure to CrossFit. How long were you doing it before MFP?
Honestly, I barely did it before. At the time, Spartan training and CrossFit training were pretty close cousins. Yep. Pretty close cousins, And this guy that I did a lot of Spartans with, it was always she started talking to me about this thing called CrossFit. I mean, you weren't around yet, but and he worked out at what's it called, Mainline. So eventually I went over there and tried it, but I could never really get into a good rhythm because they didn't really have a morning class. So I would try to go at night. But it was like, night is not my time to work out. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out. I mean, it was fine. I spent time doing like a barbell lifting club over there, which with the guys like Mark Stewart, which but
Mm-hmm.
um, and that taught me a little bit. But honestly, I never really got into a great rhythm there. And I think eventually, like I realized I needed rotator cuff surgery, and I didn't kind of never went back. And then I recovered and kind of found my way to use. So I was kind of familiar with the workouts, but honestly, like if you asked me then, I was like, I'm super inexperienced at CrossFit, but.
Mm.
Uh, but but I was really familiar with things like squatting and burpees and
That's actually surprising.
sandbags, and pulling all this stuff. I've been doing like obstacle course racing since like 2018. So, and all that training, kind of taught myself, and through online stuff and through my friends, it was all kind of like squatting and a lot of lunges, all things kind of related to like running and hill climbing. But
That's it.
um,
Well, so that's I want to say it's one interesting because with the barbell technique stuff, or really anything that would be more distinct to CrossFit versus Spartan racing, I would have thought that you had more experience. I didn't know that you was very short. I thought you were doing it for actually a few amount of years.
I might have dabbled in it for a few years, but I never really got into any kind of
Yeah,
rhythm
yeah,
because
some
they
consistent
they had a
routine.
6 a.m. class and it never worked out for me. So like I'd have to like rush home for like a 6 p.m. class. It just never worked out
Mm.
really. And life is much easier for me if I can work out when everyone in my house is sleeping. So
Well, you
um,
definitely do well with then picking up like motor control and movement patterns and like the very distinct details of like making your movement efficient. Like you had obviously a very good background of like understanding the squat movement pattern, hinging, going overhead, like getting the bar path with a lot of different technical things. Definitely remember like your body weight gymnastic skills like hanging and pulling were decent. Like you could climb rope, but like doing arch and hollow and toes the bar and pull ups were always a challenge to start. And
yeah,
obviously like getting upside down. So you obviously pick up movement fairly well though. Like you're good with like being a visual learner. You can see it and you can replicate it. So did you have usually that goes well with people who have or clientele I notice with people that have had exposure to like some sort of sports or something growing up or some sort of very they were very physically active. So I'm assuming you being the person you are, you were always physically
yeah.
active. I mean, I know we got a handful of years to go back on memory road on here, my friend, but tell us a little bit about those, early days of Brendan Vaughn kicking some ass on the field.
I'll save the stories about Brendan Vaughn throwing pumpkins at cars and stuff like that.
Hey, it
No,
is pumpkin season.
yeah, my father totally encouraged sports. I have older brothers who were into sports, so like from like the earliest age, I was always playing football, basketball, and then lacrosse. Lacrosse became like my main sport. Like when I was in grammar school, I was like 6 feet tall, so it would mean everyone kind of shoved basketball down my throat. But as I went into high school, and I always liked football, but as I stopped growing basically in high school. So I might have been the tallest one on the freshman team, but by the time I was a senior, they wanted me to play point guard. It didn't really work very well.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'd say basketball was my main sport, but that kind of translated right over into lacrosse, which I don't know if you ever kind of heard this, but basketball and lacrosse from the kind of a zone offense and a zone defense mentality are like super similar.
Mm-hmm.
And I just learned to love lacrosse. I still love it now. So lacrosse really became my main sport, which back then we were playing outside in the wintertime in Buffalo, but we played all year. But and then when I went to college, I had been kind of programmed before I went to college. Everyone around me was like, "You're not going to have time for sports. You can't study to be an architect and play sports." So I didn't even try. So I kind of went to college not really thinking I was going to play any kind of sports. I ended up walking onto the lacrosse team and playing defense there. So, and I loved that experience too. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough thing to balance, but I'd say lacrosse is was my main sport. I love football too, but that wasn't certainly good enough to continue that into college, right?
So to give you guys a perspective, Brendan Vaughn, just again from knowing you for the past 8 years, you would have been that guy on the football team where, you know, you were just like the sacrifice guy, because the coaches probably know you'd fucking go all out and like sacrifice your whole body just to like make a tackle or make the play or do whatever. And or lacrosse, same thing. Like they were like, we need someone to be a dog right now. We're putting Vaughn into the game. Like you were, and it still transfers to this day. We see it.
Yeah. I don't know if that was me, like there were times when like if I was relaxed, I would do well.
Yeah.
And like in football, especially, if I was relaxed, I would do really well.
Mm.
But a lot of times I was like super tense and I was thinking and I was thinking too much on the field. And of course, when you're thinking out there, like things don't work. That's why like lacrosse was just so much easier for me. It was kind of relaxing. There was no thinking involved out there. I have some epically funny stories of lacrosse fights, but that you can't, I don't think you could do that these days, but,
the reason why, talking about fights things, the reason why is that mindset comes to me because I feel like you've had a lot of fights with a lot of CrossFit equipment, boxes, rowers, bars. Slamming a bar on your head.
Who slammed the end of a bar into my forehead or something? That happened.
Yeah, like you're notorious for all the CrossFit fails next to Dan Green's fun.
But that's how I was growing up, man. Like epic fails on bikes.
Yes.
I probably had some epic fails in cars. Maybe I'm lucky to be here, but that's been with me my whole life, having epic fails. I got hit by a car like 3 times when I was growing up.
3 times?
Yeah.
That's an insane number of times.
We have 20 viewers right now viewing. Anybody who wants to pitch in on the chat and see how they.
I was young, but
hit by a car 3 times.
Yeah.
I got hit by a car once.
Once in Ohio that I barely remember. I just flew over the top of the car once, and then we moved to Buffalo, and I got hit twice.
I've never been hit by a car, man.
I was riding my bike somewhere one time, and a truck swerved. A dump truck with these big wide mirrors. Remember the mirrors that used to stick out like a couple feet? That friggin' mirror hit me square in the back and threw me like 10 feet like over my handlebars, and just like skidded on the road for a while. And then the stupid truck kept on going. I came home and I couldn't move my back. My face was all bloody, But back then my parents were like, look at me, they're like, idiot. And that was the extent of it. There was no help, there was no Band-Aids. There was no trip to the emergency room.
This is all making sense right now. Now we're getting deep into now we know why Brendan Vaughn is so mentally resilient the way he is, right? When he's applying what he does in CrossFit, you have just hit by cars, being always, you falling down, how many times can you get back up type of thing, right? Always. And on top of that, you grew up in Buffalo, which we all know Brendan's a big Buffalo Bills fan here. So for all the Eagles fans, sorry, but he's Mr. Buffalo. And if you grow up in Buffalo, you definitely develop a resiliency in mindset. One, because it's cold as fuck in Buffalo. And, anytime you're exposed to the cold, you learn a lot about yourself. And then two, from, I guess, what was it, 1990 to 1995, the Bills made 4 Super Bowls and lost all of them, right? Was it 4?
Wait, let me stick a knife in my eye. Thank you for reminding me. It was it's tough to be a Bills fan. It's funny, oddly enough, remember Jackie? She grew up down the street from me, so we used to commiserate about that. It's hard to, I still am scarred by all that stuff now. I can only get into football so much and be disappointed when the Bills lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs every year.
Dude, well, listen, you have a very optimistic future for the Bills. So I think if this isn't the year,
time's running out on Josh Allen. Sooner or later, he's going to get some catastrophic injury and he'll be out for the year. It's the way he plays. I love it, but it's a matter of time before he gets hurt. But that's a different podcast.
Oh man. Well, it all makes sense now. Now this is why we had the podcast. I had to learn a little bit about you with this. But tell me now with CrossFit MFP, coming back to the gym, coming back to that first day you came in, you're like, I just want to sign up, right? You really didn't know what you were getting into. So what attracted you, particularly with MFP, that made you want to stay to obviously now for 8 years, right? There being so many factors, but for you being the person you are, like other than the class time being, relevant for you, what other things?
Yeah, honestly, it's super easy for me to be really consistent because I love it. Going back to what you said earlier, but I was kind of thinking back of like what made me walk in the door the first time. And back then my mindset was just like I love doing hard stuff. Like I just want to work really hard. I want to be the sled dog. You know,
Sled
um,
dog, yes.
I honestly like, but I realized pretty quickly, and I still kind of think this. I'm like, wow, I'm really bad at a lot of this stuff. Like I'm really bad at some of these movements. I mean, I am like continually super impressed by some of the athletes in the gym. Like I watch what they do, and I'm like, I can never do that. But so my mentality shifted a little bit, and then COVID hit, and kind of everything changed for us, right? And we kind of slowly got back into it. But when I came back, everyone had been kind of out of their routine at that point. That's when I think I like, all right, I'm going to do CrossFit like 6 days a week. I don't need to kill myself. I don't need to run 100 miles every other week. So then my mindset I think just became more of like I got to focus on technique. I want to get better at some of this stuff. I want to be patient and be methodical and just really just kind of learn how to do CrossFit better and, be open-minded, be a good student and just kind of soak in and learn everything I can. And honestly, I'm still kind of like that. I still, you go back to those days where you were talking about like the Friday morning, huddle on the floor there. Even Joe will say like I went through a period of time where I was really kind of down on myself. I'm like, I can't believe I can't do a bar muscle up or I can't do a handstand push up, but even now, like it still bothers me, but I've learned to accept it. But I just have to be patient now and kind of just be methodical and sooner or later it'll happen. But my mindset now is kind of just transitioned to something, I just want to be methodical and get a little bit better each day and kind of appreciate the people around me and appreciate the community around me. Cause I do really like everyone. I do really like the community. Everyone there has some unique talent, some unique aspect of their kind of fitness journey that I really appreciate being part of,
And one thing too, Vaughn, like going back to like you look around and you'll see like people doing shit that like you're like, oh man, like I can't do that. But like my perspective too, like as someone who's with every class, like there's a million people who walk around and like see you doing shit and they're like, man, like I can't do that. Like, so I think it's like important to keep that in mind. Like, the Marco always says like we're the fittest humans in Haverford Township, but I think sometimes you forget when you're around fit people all day, just like you forget how fit you are. Like, so. And, it's like I said, like we're around fit people all day, but like you forget it. And like people will see you doing stuff and they're like, Jesus Christ, man, like can't do that stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
It's good perspective to have.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
I'll feel that way about myself too with CrossFit. Like I'm doing CrossFit for however many years and, there's something I can't do, but it's just something there's always gonna be something everybody can't do. There's something Marco can't do, like we're all going to have something. And I just try to keep that in mind for myself too. Like, just putting, giving some value to just like how healthy and how fit and just like how badass you are for showing up every single day. A lot of value to it, man.
There's a lot of people who show up. Like, I don't really think of myself. Thank you, but I don't think of myself like that. But
another thing too, you got to remember, and just again I know it's so easy to compare, right? And again, I've been doing it forever, and everyone looks at me at the stage I'm at, but I also can compare to that next level. Like, you know what I mean? There's always things that we can look at and achieve. And yeah, like I still want to achieve some things that I feel like I can achieve, but also understanding where I'm at in my process and just really reflecting on why I do this and what's that long-term vision. But I think for you to just remember like all the progress you've made. Like again, I remember you learning how to do kipping pull-ups and toes to bar and getting upside down and inverted for the first time. I look at your weightlifting right now more as a maintenance thing, and also just because. And also, again, it's much more than the physical, right? The energy you bring into the gym, the way you have brought yourself into the community. We gave you the Handy Helper Award the 1 year because you were here from the very early days. And just a quick early story, Brendan Vaughn was known for making holes in the wall for when he dropped the barbell and it would bounce because the walls used to be just drywall back in the day when the walls were red and yellow. And so when the gym got an upgrade, just because of your character, not because you put holes in the wall, but you were just somebody that just wanted to help me and the business and the community. And as a business owner, that's something that really stuck with me on a deeper level because I just felt your want to just be a part of something that was greater than yourself. And that's kind of like the deeper meaning of why we engage in this CrossFit, right? I mean, we do it for ourselves, for our own health, but when we have this bond with each other, there's something greater, there's a greater cause that's in effect. And so I just wanted to make sure you knew that too, even though you still have made progress, still making progress and, maybe have, your own ups and downs, but there's something bigger at work every time you step into the gym.
Yeah, I mean, it was easier for me to want to step in and help. I love what you've created there. I love the community, and so it was kind of a no-brainer. And I love working hard. So I remember showing up that night. You were ready to go home. You were dragging because you'd been there like 18 hours already. And I'm like, Marco, we got to move all this stuff tonight. You want to like come in fresh tomorrow with a clean start? And you're like, what? I'm like, just follow my lead.
Dude, I'm so grateful for that, dude. Honestly, I loved it. I was so fun. I don't know if I've been that tired.
You were dragging. I could tell you'd been there like 18 hours, right?
Yeah,
But we had to move everything in the gym outside.
Dude, that was awesome.
I'm like, trust me, when you come in tomorrow morning, you're just going to want to start from scratch, putting the floor down. You want all this shit out of here. Yeah. And you're like, what am I going to put it on? I'm like, I'll be right back. And I drove down the street and I stole like 4 pallets. Remember that?
Yep.
I think Ryan Shantz was there. And I came back and Ryan was like, where did you get these?
Dude, you were that's the Batman in you, man. Just
yeah, it was funny.
Just saving the day for us. Well,
no, we need to do another one. There's that outlet that needs to be fixed. Yeah, plus, I like fixing things and building things. So like we got to fix that outlet. And
well, you are an architect, my guy.
Right.
Well, tell me, is there anything that we do in CrossFit that helps with your work in terms of being an architect? I have to ask that.
Well,
question.
The jobs I work on are pretty big and complicated, and often at the beginning of the job, we'll have these discussions with the owner about what everyone's role is, and you'll have, the people below me say what their role, and they're like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, my job is to like maintain momentum. I need to like take this bag of water and I'm pushing it uphill while you guys are all trying to poke holes in it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what my job is, just to make sure that that we have momentum all the time. And we're making progress. So, I mean, there's a lot, I mean, not literally, but like metaphorically, there's a lot that transfers. You have to be pretty kind of resilient and it'll grind you down. It's a tough process. Like if I were doing houses, it might be much more simple, but we're doing kind of big, complicated buildings for universities. So there's it's a long process. I've been working on this one project for 4 years, and it's not even going to be done until like 20 or 31 maybe. So it's a long process. A lot of people burn out. I think I do well at it because I'm just resilient and just keep going,
Dude, you're a fucking big deal, man.
It's that consistency, man. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I'm not a big deal. I'm just a normal guy.
Well, to us, you're a big deal.
That's what Batman would say.
Well, here's the thing, man, I want that to transition to this final piece I want to talk about with us is this idea of balancing the dark and the light. and this is a spiritual concept. It's about, as things, the light always overcomes the dark in a sense, but we need the dark in our lives, and we need a form of darkness or challenge or resiliency to allow us to have a greater perspective of the light that we have and how we can use the light as a tool to, guide us into our greater purpose in life. But when we talk about this from a CrossFit standpoint, it's about the darkness in CrossFit is you trying to get that challenge, get that push, get that ass kick. That's what we paid for. But also the light to the CrossFit is, what's my long game look like? What does Brendan Vaughn look like at 70 years old, right? And again, we might be getting closer to that time, but you're able to, for you, out of many of our members, you're able to have that perspective a little bit clearer because those moments are going to approach, at some point here.
Sure.
Right. And so the light in this process is looking at the long game and always reflecting on, your own personal journey and your own personal, why do you do this in the first place? So just take me through a little bit about shifting your mindset to the light, because you kind of had that in that 2020. Like you were a little raw when you first started, Mr. Spartan Race, go hard, have this inner reflection to shift my perspective to maybe I just want to ride this out, maintenance, build. I can still make progress, but also be a good student, be coachable, stay open-minded throughout every single process that we do here at MFP. And so when you have this mindset shift, it could be sometimes a little difficult, and it's sometimes hard to look at the future self. So take me a little bit through, your why and your journey and how that allows you to kind of stay grounded in this aspect of light, even though you are, Mr. Darkness is a great teacher.
The darkness is a great teacher, but my why is really about being kind of consistent and resilient. You are right that my kind of focus has shifted to probably more maintenance. I want to be doing this when I'm 70. Will I still be doing this when I'm 70? That's a good question. I hope so. I watched my father, who was super physically active, and now he just shuffles around. When is that? I'm trying to, how long can I stave that off? I lost my train of thought. This is what happens when you get older. What was I talking about?
Well, just shifting the mindset. But here's an example. I'll help guide it a little bit, because you are at a point where you do have physiological changes, and something like that could simply be like tendons, ligaments, muscular recovery, things that are a little bit more difficult to maintain. And that happens, and we do a lot of things at MFP, which we've always had conversations when it comes to, prehab, rehab, injury prevention. But you being someone that pushes, you like to do that, and you sometimes do have little setbacks. Maybe
Sure.
I have a knee, maybe I have a little achy shoulder. Tell us a little bit about, again, you still showing up and still working through that, and then next thing you know, okay, things are better, I'm healed up, I can still continue to grow.
Yeah, I have constant, it's not constant, but I have knee problems. My QL on my back is always bugging me. Sometimes it really flares up, but I think I've just kind of learned over time that no matter how bad it is, when I get up in the morning, if I go to the gym and keep moving, chances are it'll feel better. Yeah, that's usually the case. I just learned to trust that once I start moving and once I start loosening up, it'll feel better. I don't want to stop moving, because I'm afraid everything will just turn to concrete.
That is true.
But I've been for 15 years. It's been like this, where I always had some kind of injury. But I always tell people, for 6 months my knee will hurt, and then one day I'll be like, my knee hasn't hurt for 4 months. It's great. And then or same thing with my back. So it all ebbs and flows. I've just learned not to get too freaked out when I have an injury, right? If it's really, I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had anything super, super bad that really knocked me out of the gym, like a torn rotator cuff or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, if I did something really bad like that, you know, then I'd have to kind of take a different approach. But
I
you
mean,
know,
it takes a special kind of, like, a certain kind of person too, though, to have that mindset, because, like, there's a lot of people who step foot into a gym and have, like, the opposite mindset, right? Like, Mark and I have talked about it before, the people who, like, think they're broken glass and think they're going to break, and you're like the bulletproof glass guy.
I am not bulletproof at all, man. Like you hear me in the morning, I'm like,
the point is, though, like,
615 is all like that, dude. Every time.
but it's like, being willing, there's a ton of value, though, in being willing to just keep doing stuff even when, like, you might feel like shit, or, you know, like,
I honestly
isn't, you know, there's a lot of value to that, man.
I think that's just how I was raised. You know, like there was no time to sit around and be sick. You know, like who cares if you have a cold? Like you still got to do everything. You know, but
well, the thing to remember with this is, you know, the movement process. Yes, you will become concrete because you need to get the synovial fluid moving in the joints. You need to get things flowing, and you know, I'm very mindful of that. For anybody, even my age or even younger, like it's important to have warm-up protocols, you know, different mobility. You know, we do a ton of that stuff every day at MFP for our workouts and our movements. But also another thing too, you said, you know, not to overthink it. And I think this is a big thing, especially if you're new and you're starting CrossFit, to be aware of is, or if you just don't have a deeper awareness of your body, is that it's so easy to feel something and react like I'm injured or something's really hurt. And sometimes, we are going to get maybe some limitations, but typically if you go and get an MRI, get it scanned, they're going to probably tell you, you know, maybe it's just a muscular strain, maybe it's just some more arthritic effect. And the best thing you can do is move your body and re-strengthen,
right.
Or maybe some sort of tendonitis type of thing, which the recipe for tendonitis is to do more tempo, do more isometrics, lower the volume a little bit, just modify, get into a maintenance mindset, which is everything that we do and everything that you have preached pretty much to this conversation. So, you know, again, use it or lose it, brother.
But I think you have to be smart about it too. You know, if your back's hurting and you program a heavy squat day, first of all, I never look at the workouts. So sometimes I walk in.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Sometimes I walk in, I'm like, my back is killing me. I'm like, heavy squat day. I'm like, maybe I should have looked today, but I'm here now. So, but you have to be smart about it. Like if you are hurt in some capacity, I mean, you see this for me all the time. I'm like, I'm just going to stay light today to keep moving, you know, or like, I'm not going to run today. I'll just jump on a bike or something, or I'll just sit on the floor and wait for everyone to come back. You know. So you can't be I mean, there's some people there. I have seen some people like I'm hurt and they're charging through the workout like their life depends on it, and then I don't see them again for like 4 months because then they really got hurt, right? You know. But I just like everyone's going to have injuries to one degree or another throughout the course of doing this stuff. It's just the way we're built, you know. But
absolutely, man, and you're setting the tone, my friend. All right, well, let's have a little fun. How's that sound? And we'll finish this off. So we got, ready for this? Huge PR. 22 live viewers. 22.
That's actually like double our
Yeah,
PR.
it is literally double. Yeah, so motherfuckers, if you're watching, we got views here. Get in there, give me some chat work. So we'll pull it up.
Someone put in some chat so I know who it is.
We got Tony, Mo, and the Mexican Godfather. So
who is I want to know who the Mexican Godfather is.
Right,
that's going to be a new T-shirt I have. Who is the Mexican Godfather?
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys. Don't leave us. It'll be just a minute here, and side. All right, B. Vaughn, what's the hardest part of CrossFit? That was the commercial there. Answer for our group. What's the hardest part for you? Just showing
For
up.
for me, or am I looking for
Just
like
for
a general
just for
answer? The
you.
way other
Just for you.
uh, bar muscle ups.
There we go. We'll get there.
The
All
day
right.
I get a bar muscle up is the day I'm going to throw my hands up and be like, "That's it, I'm out."
Dude, it could happen.
It'll happen someday.
All right, Vaughn, blind rankings, my friend. This is our a game. We're gonna rank the top 5 funny CrossFit or CrossFit MFP comedies. And so the way it's gonna work here, we have 5 different things to rank. Now, these 5 are not in order. Now, this will again right now just be my own biased ranking of how I would rank these from 1 to 5. Okay, and again, this is just within the CrossFit general community. Some of these apply a little bit more to CrossFit MFP community, but just thinking about these 5 things, how would you rank them? So the 5 are 1, farts. And I'm going to explain why these are ranked while they are. But we have farts and crop dusters. We have CrossFit fails or falling. We have inappropriate cueing. You were here this Monday. For example, smack the gooch with the kettlebell when you do hang snatches or kettlebell swings. Again, or smack the taint, we would say, because, again, it's a great cue. It puts the kettlebell and barbell in the right position. Tug your partner, jerking and snatching. The characters of Haverford Road. Jim Miller employees.
Yes.
The Ardmore Beverage 10 a.m. drunks. We got a new crackhead on the road here, right? You met her last week.
Right.
And then we have the characters of MFP, just the general misfits. And again, you're now a very loyal 6:15 a.m.er, so you get to be a part of some of our definite misfits. But again, don't get triggered, MFPers. You're all misfits if you're a part of my gym, because I'm the king of misfits. So.
Right.
All right, rank them 1 to 5. What would you put at number 5, Vaughn?
5 is the least funniest.
Correct.
The characters of Haverford Road.
Okay. What would you put 4?
Characters of MFP.
What would you put at 3? Again, these are my rankings too of how I would rank them.
I know, but 3 I would put inappropriate.
Okay.
2 I would put fails, and of course, me being me and all the jokes about the bathroom, I would put farting and crop dusting as the funniest.
Good. I like that for yours. Well, let's go through some of these. All right. Number 5. I put farts at number 5, and here's
I knew you would put that.
Here's the reason why. We got.
I know, but like if I didn't classify that as the funniest, I would get so much shit from everyone.
Right, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Here's why, and Brendan, you can relate to all these. Is why I put these here. Any fart's fucking funny. Let's just admit it, right? Farting is always funny. Sometimes we get pissed off at our significant others or friends if they fart and it's gross. But let's just talk about MFP, right? So there's this member that was notorious. Well, there's this one member back in the day with Vaughn. His name was Jim Mayer. And then we were doing a 5 a.m. class. And he fit in a lot of these categories, especially the misfit. And he would have his shirt off like before the warm up even started. And so we're doing the Metcon, and and it was one of those workouts where I have you guys walking across the room a handful of times. And next thing you know, like Jim Mayer's going from one movement to the other. And it was fucking raw, dude. It was one of the grossest crop dust farts.
I love it.
And everybody knew it was Jim. And everyone's like, "What the fuck, Jim?" Everyone was so pissed off at Jim Mayer for this goddamn fart. And it was... I was so mad, but I thought it was the funniest thing because he's strutting around without his shirt off, thinking he's the shit. Literally,
I'm laughing because I can totally relate to Jim. I'm sure it's some other conversation my name would come up in that context.
Oh.
I think you would come up more in the pooping conversation.
Yeah, you're the poop conversation guy. Oh God, so good memories. All right, number 4 here. The characters of Haverford Road, okay? The reason, I can't put them last. You put them last, Vaughn, in the guessing. But the we have Jim Miller employees. So Brendan Vaughn can relate because before Jim Miller left, and if you're a newbie, you wouldn't know, but at approximately 5:45 a.m., especially if the doors were open, the cigar and cigarette smell would start to creep into the gym. And just knowing the roofer mentality and employee version of Jim Miller, the one we call him the Grim Reaper. He'd be out there probably sometimes even at 5 a.m. ripping some cigars. And he would still be out there by the end of the 6:15 class. And just the amount of characters you would see walking in the Jim Miller roofing to get ready to start their roofing day were definitely some of them.
We used to run by him, remember?
Oh,
and it'd always be like, you guys should join us. And they're like, nah, this looks fucking stupid.
Fart. Feeling a rectal transmission, courtesy or Garrett. We got to go back to farts, by the way. Maybe we shouldn't put that at 5.
Who is it?
This is Mo Tack.
Sure
I can pull it up here now. We're legit. Get in the chat, guys. Get involved.
You know who it is. It's Mo. It's Mo Keys.
Yeah, that's what I said, Mo.
Oh, okay.
I know Vaughn goes, I don't know who that is.
Ardmore Beverage.
Well, it was Mo Stack. I wouldn't recognize that. Now I do.
Going back to the Ardmore Beverage, listen, we see all of them happening at right after a 9 a.m. class. We see them creeping in. We get a handful. I mean, Vaughn, you were there back in the day when we had some of the OG crackheads walk in randomly at the gym. And, if you guys want more detail, go to the Monday Madness podcast I did this week. I'll put in the details of our new friend, Melinda. She's the unicorn of Haverford Road. She's been trotting up and down there 10 a.m. in the morning, 40 and cigar. She
must live nearby.
Who knows, man? I had a whole theory on this. You got to watch my episode.
Yeah.
All right. Inappropriate cueing, number 3. Just because it makes people, I can't put it too high because then, people just.
It is funny.
People get a little uncomfortable and triggered and whatever, poo-poo, whatever. But, you got to have some fun with it. Why not? I mean, back in the old school CrossFit coaches, man, it was all about just, what kind of joke can you make about penises and vaginas? It was just always inappropriate. We had to tug your partner with the bands the other week. That we thought that was kind of fun. Joe and I had fun tugging each other off during the class with the bands.
Let me tell you, Coach Trey tried to do the smack the gooch cue when I took his class later that day. Trey. He really tried, but
I know.
It was hard for him to do it.
He couldn't pull it off. Well, he's too young. He thinks
he tried. He did. Yeah. If I were doing his eval for that class, I would have given a perfect score for trying. He was really committed to try.
I should have, when I first did it, I wasn't fully all in on it. It just kind of came to me because it used to be back in the day. I used to really use that cue a lot, like smack the taint with your kettlebell. And honestly, and Trey really wanted to use it because it worked. He goes, wow, like that cue really worked. Like it kept the kettlebell nice and close to my body and efficient, and it teaches you to hinge and not sink down and squat when you push the kettlebell through. So, hey,
he did his best with it.
I'm glad he brought it up. It's good. We got to get him out of, and the old stuff like, hey, we're gonna jerk and do some snatches today, like, All right, if the Mexican Godfather is Dan Greenspun, all right, this one's for you, brother. CrossFit fails. I mean, especially if it's Brendan McCloskey falling off a box at 3 inches off the ground. I mean, you can't get any better than that. But this is also notorious. This isn't just MFP comedy. This is notorious within the whole CrossFit universe and worldwide community of CrossFit fails. So, Vaughn, you've definitely had your handful of fails.
I've had some good box fails.
Yeah, you haven't fully made it in CrossFit.
Remember when I had those 2 grapefruits on my knees and they were bleeding, and like someone threw up, and like somebody went to call the ambulance, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's gonna be fine. Like, what are you worried about?
Oh my god,
they were the size of grapefruits.
Dude,
Remember
that was gnarly. Yeah. If you haven't failed on a box jump yet, you really haven't made it in CrossFit. So, yeah, dude, that was gnarly. And here's the reason why. Going back to that Vaughn mentality, people were looking at your shins like, holy fuck. And you were just like, just happy to be here, man. I love it. Love it.
I finished the workout. I didn't say anything. I was back in the corner, you know.
You're a beast, dude. Well, fails never, ever get too old. That's for sure. Sometimes they're a little too gnarly where we got to be very careful, but
yeah,
falling is good.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I don't think there's been too many serious falls.
No.
Right.
Well, the top, at least with my personal comedy, are definitely the interesting individuals that come to MFP daily. We just had Victor. There he is. I'm so happy to be witnessing classic conversation.
There he is.
Victor, you are, we love you, man. All right.
Victor's one of a kind.
One of a kind, my friend. I mean, and listen, for you being a part of listen, I tell 615 is by far the ideal, what do you call it? Standard, I guess, a vision of like what CrossFit designed it to be when it comes to a group fitness setting, and inclusive and relatable, right? Because you have we get all the walks of life at the 615 class,
right?
Levels, you name it. I mean, today we had the Cougar Killer, you know, Cav. We got the young, we got the old with Vaughn. We have the genders, right? Even though Jen and Bach have been holding it down, you know, we got Addie in there a handful of times. Yeah. You know, we got the race, we got Asian, we got Corey. Well, Corey's letting us down a little bit with the brothers.
Corey's later now.
All right, Corey. We got TVN, giving us some love here.
Right?
Bringing it in for the Masters.
There he is.
You know, we got Jordy. He's a newbie, still getting it. We got Joe DeTrolio, Big Joe, when he shows up. By the way, Big Joe just got married.
Hey, congrats to Joe, who got married recently.
He got married. He's on his honeymoon. So, Joe, this one's for you, my guy.
Yeah. Congrats to Joe.
Yeah, we get all of it, man. And we
I didn't realize he got married. There was a big. He talked about the lead up and the work for that.
I think like a week or 2 weeks ago, I think he got married.
Good for him.
Joe, if you're watching, let us know when you got married.
So yeah, we get all. It's honestly my favorite class. Sorry, I know Mo, you're gonna say something because Mo's a 5 a.m. right now, but I love the 5 a.m. I love getting up for 5 a.m. I do it. I've been doing it religiously for 8 years, and I do it for you guys. So, but 6:15, the elite.
5 a.m. is no joke.
Yeah,
you know
they go hard.
They work hard.
Do you have any honorable mentions? I didn't put one there, but I figured if we have one. Anything come to mind?
For comedy?
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen at CrossFit, I won't name names, but they were new, and someone grabbed like your favorite topic, the chalk thing.
Oh, fuck
me. And I don't know if they were pulling like LeBron James, but they made the biggest cloud of chalk and then like walked through it. And you were like, what the hell are you doing?
God, honorable mention. I don't know if I can put chalk in comedy yet. I get it.
Knowing how you are about chalk, it was especially funny.
No, you're right, and it should be. I need to take a breath, widen my perspective, understand. Yeah. You know, that was actually a very, very funny moment. It triggered me, but it was the person that did it. It was Jordy. We'll just say it was Jordy. He was brand new. He was again, when you're that newbie and you see people chalk up, it's cool. You know, it's like everybody's doing these drugs right now, you know, like let's take a rip.
I was in the middle of doing something. I almost had to drop the kettlebell. I was laughing so hard. Because he just grabbed it, was like
He was. Oh shit, man!
Well, we love you, Jordy, but it was just a funny moment.
It was a great moment. Well, damn, dude, good moment.
You got to throw like mid-class like bathroom breaks on there.
Oh yeah,
I do that all the time. Come on,
that's I'll be with you, and you'll be like, I'm going to poop. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, you say get your poop in a group, and I want to follow directions. So I'm like, okay.
Actually, the get your poop in a group I stole from Derek. You remember Derek?
Oh, you stole that from Derek?
Yeah, that was Derek's thing, man. And I just always loved every time he said it. because he was very good at delivering that message, like the way he said it. And so I try to do it justice with get your poop in a group. It's I like it. Get your shit together, get your poop in a group.
Yeah.
Depends on the mood for the day. But yeah, man.
But when I do go to the bathroom like mid class, usually it's when you're giving us some instructions. So I am in there concentrating on the instructions.
You got you got to time it out.
Like don't be. I don't want to get accused of not listening.
Yeah, you got it. Well, we had a newbie today that was probably in. I think he got lost in there for a second today. Poor Paul.
Yeah.
Poor Paul. Hey, he's a good fit for the 615.
Yeah. That's funny.
Look at the two people you're doing this podcast with. Man, we're Marco and the King Misfits.
Oh, dude, I am the king of misfits by far. So nothing to get defensive on here, everybody. We are all we are all in this together. CrossFit is the one place where you have common ground, no matter what perspective, ideology, political view, or whatever dog you like more than the other. We're all in it together. So that's one of the big messages I was talking about this week is just we persevere through common ground. So Vaughn, man, you are a legend for us. You are definitely, again, one of those members that we just value so much for everything that you do in terms of the way you show up, your mindset, your work ethic, your ability to just connect with other members, make people feel welcome. So not enough good things that we can say about you, my friend. So you're happy to be here. We're happy to have you.
We all appreciate you guys as well. Like, we all appreciate the coaching staff and all the hard work you put into it. So especially you, Marco, I've seen how much time you put in since I've started, man. I always tell you, like, you should be proud of yourself at your age, because like I couldn't have done that at your age, but you created a great community. So I hope you recognize that. You should be proud of that.
Well, thanks, my friend, man. Well,
and you, Joe, you've become quite a coach, Joe.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you, Vaughn.
We take that seriously, coming from our elders. So appreciate your wisdom.
My elders.
Well, hey, dude. Hey, listen.
I think I
so
am.
much.
I might be the oldest guy. Am I the oldest guy there?
No, Joe DeBello.
How old's your father-in-law?
Tony, you're 60. Tony's 60.
Oh, he's got me by.
DeBello's older than
Joe DeBello just hit the 70 mark. So
yeah.
I'm not even sure I know who that is.
He comes later.
Comes at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
9 a.m.
Well, hey, man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, good for him.
Here's to another 10 more. Here's
I hope
another
I'm doing
10
that
more
when I'm
years.
70.
You will. You will.
You'll be here.
All right, and we will. We will still be here. So
All
thanks
right,
so much
cool.
for your time on a Friday, my friend. All right, this is going to be a great podcast. We'll get it out. Thank you to the viewers. We got 24 viewers. Love it. All right, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. That's going to help us. And then I'll give you guys notifications for the next episodes that are showing up. So I got a baby to attend to. You hear him?
Yeah, I hear him.
All right.
All right.
Gonna get him. All right, guys.
All right.
Well,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Love you.
See you soon. See you.